All right, we mow everywhere we go. And we've been talking about how do we turn fail into fuel that drives us on. And I want to try to give you an example today that kind of brings it all together. I'm running on Centennial Trail, and we had some storms a couple of days ago, and a small tree has fallen in the middle of the trail. It's actually blocking the trail, but not the edge here, so I can very easily run around the tree and continue on. But it reminded me of a run that my buddy Philip and I did a number of years ago. We were testing out the trail for the Port to Fort run in Fort Gibson. And our goal was to run the length of the trail and just see how the trail was in preparation for the race. And this was on a Friday. The race was the next day. So we took off on this trail and got about 3/4 of the way in and came to a part where the trail was extremely narrow, wooded on both sides, really no way around the trail, just a narrow little single track. And the night before, a huge tree had fallen onto the trail. And unlike that little tree behind me, there was absolutely no way around this tree. There was just wooded area to both sides, poison ivy, just no options. And so our first thoughts in our mind was, well, this is a failure. And we can't get through here, can't get around. We're just gonna have to turn around and go back. This run failed. And oftentimes I think that's the mindset that we take immediately, even in circumstances that are beyond our control. We had no control over that circumstance. The tree had fallen in the path. There was nothing we could have done. So it really wasn't a failure on our part, but we weren't able to accomplish our goal. So we could have just turned around, felt sorry for ourselves, moped and pouted, ran back to our car that direction we had just came. And if we had chosen to do that, then that in and of itself, just the fact that we gave up and didn't try, could have been considered failure. But what we did is we just put that memory behind us. We just forgot about that. That's not even an option. And then we evaluated and tried to understand what we were facing. We looked over the scenario, tried to understand what the obstacle was that was in our way. And then with that knowledge and our understanding, we evaluated every possible scenario. What's our options here? How can we get to the other side of this tree and continue on? So we took those first 3 steps in turning fail into fuel. And then the most important step, the step you cannot do without, we lived the action. We said, we understand this obstacle's in our way. When we evaluated, we felt like there may be a way through if we just climb through this tree. It was a huge tree. We couldn't even see the other side. And there was no easy way through it. But we started to climb through, step by step, limb by limb, with the limbs scraping us on the face, on our arms, squeezing our way through narrow parts. Finally, we made it through the tree and stood on the other side of the trail with all the trail right in front of us. We lived the action. We pushed aside any thoughts and just forgot about them, moved them away, flushed them away of turning around. We took the time to understand what had happened and what were our options. We evaluated carefully everything that this meant and what was our way through, and then decided the way through was literally to climb through. It wasn't easy. It left us with some scratches and bumps, but that was the way through. And we proceeded to live the action, and we made it through. We turned what could have been fail into fuel, and we found the strength to push through and get to the other side, and we finished the run that day. And that's a great example of when you face an obstacle. It doesn't matter if it was your fault, or your doing, or not your doing at all. Push the thoughts of failure away. Push those thoughts to the side, flush them away. Understand what the situation really is. Don't let emotions cloud your understanding. Evaluate what it would take to overcome, and then live the action. And that is how you turn fail into fuel. And then we mow-yo everywhere we go.